Let's take a look at some traps from the Slav Defense. This opening starts with d4, d5, c4, and c6, the most common and the best response to the Queen's Gambit. The first trap comes from the exchange variation, in which white captures his pawn on d5 and black takes back. Now we're going to play knight to c3, and let's say they play knight to c6, just natural development, bishop f4, knight f6, and e3, e6. Again, these are all completely natural moves, and most of them are some of the most popular moves that you will see if you play this opening. But here, after we played bishop to d3, let's say they play queen to b6. Now, you might be confused as to why black would play this, but it's very simple actually. Black is simply just trying to target this pawn on b2. After all, if this pawn falls, then this knight is thus under attack, and subsequently then white's whole queen side will end up falling apart. So we should do something to defend this pawn, right? Maybe rook b1, queen b3. Well, we're actually going to give up this pawn and play a3. Now there's a particular reason why we do that, and that is because we are baiting black to take this pawn on b2 because it is a poisoned pawn. Now we could play knight to a4 and black's queen is lost. If you look, all the escape squares along this row are guarded. This one is guarded by the knight, this one's guarded by the bishop, this one's guarded by the pawn, and this one by the queen. A beautiful combination allows for white to be easily winning by move 9 in the opening. The second trap we're going to look at is also from the Slav Defense with d4, d5, c4, and c6. But instead, this one comes from the modern line of the Slav Defense with knight f3. Let's say, again, both players continue natural development with something like bishop f5. Now we're going to play queen to b3. Now, similarly to what we saw earlier with the queen movement, this time white is going to be playing it and targeting black's weak b7 pawn. Now, let's say rather than giving up the pawn like we saw earlier, black actually tries to defend it with the most common and the best move, which is queen to b6. The best move here is to take c takes d5, in which one of the most common responses for black is to try and trade off the queens, and then trade off this knight as well. But here, we are not simply just going to take back. Instead, we're going to continue to press our advantage and take this pawn. Now we are threatening this pawn here. So for example, if black just plays, I don't know, bishop to g6 going back, we can take, and now the rook is trapped in the corner. But let's say that black notices this, and instead, after d takes c6, plays a very, very natural response as well, bishop to e4. Now, the cool thing about bishop e4 that black may be noticing is that now if we take, we can simply take back with the bishop. And of course, now the bishop's not in danger. So in theory, it should be good for black. They just took a free piece and got away with it. But here's why it's not. We're going to play a brilliant move here, which is rook takes a7. Now, why are we just giving away a rook for nothing? That's because when black takes back, we're going to play c7 now, and it's plus 7.9 for white. Why? Well, we are guaranteeing promotion here, either by simply pushing the pawn or capturing the knight. So for example, if they play king to d7, guarding this promotion square, we're going to take the knight and we can promote. Alternatively, after c7, if they play knight to c6, so that we can't capture here and promote, we're simply going to promote like this. And in both cases, it is completely winning for white. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of some of the traps in the Slav Defense. Thanks for watching.